Qantas Boeing 737. Sounds a bit flasher than this, old girl.
Good day, YPAD, welcome back to another Thursday trip report. I'm at Sydney Airport Terminal 3, the Qantas terminal, and today I'm going to fly with Qantas back to my home, Adelaide. Now let's go check in the very quiet terminal. When I was filming this video, South Australia just opened to New South Wales a couple days ago. Qantas stopped flying between Adelaide and Sydney since July 2020. When the news came out, Qantas instantly added 2 daily flights between the cities. So everybody on my flight today just booked their flight. Everybody is so eager to travel. Our flight today will be the first flight from Terminal 3. Guys, look at this. This is Terminal 3 departure area, the check-in area. More specifically, it's so quiet. This is 6:50 AM on a Sunday. Ooh. Unlike Brisbane and Adelaide airports, at Sydney Airport you have to use the self-check-in kiosk. None of the check-in desks are open here, but there are several Qantas staff around the check-in area to help you if you need anything. I've had my first Q bag tags since 2014, but I've never used them as a check-in bag tag, and today I'm going to try to use one of them. So I'm just going to print out my boarding pass and then move on to the self-bag drop kiosk, and then there you go. No paper bag tags, save the trees. I'm now going to go through security, which is going to be a fairly quick process because there's only one flight departing, and that's to Adelaide. While I'm going through the security, I want to show you the Sydney trains. They are amazing. So first of all, amazing view, and it's double deck. I'm on upstairs, and you can move the chairs like this. Sydney is amazing. Now this is the airside of Terminal 3. Again, very quiet, not many shops are opened because there's only one flight. For cafes and restaurant, I've walked through the whole terminal and found only this cafe is open. Nothing else in the food court, including Hungry Jack's, are opened. Qantas has 2 lounges in the domestic terminal. One is the business lounge for One World Emerald and business customers. The other one's the Qantas Club, and it's for One World Sapphire members. Because of the pandemic, they've temporarily shut down the club at Sydney Airport. So today I'll be allowed to use the business lounge, but it's not going to open until 8:15 because my flight's going to leave at 9:15, and that's the first flight out of Sydney Terminal 3 today. Qantas domestic lounges don't open until 1 hour before the first departure. By the way, for some reason, the Qantas Club escalators are still working. That's a bit waste of electricity, I think. There's no one here at all. I think that's our aircraft to Adelaide in an hour. So this is 18-year-old Qantas Boeing 737-800 Victor Hotel Victor X-Ray Alpha. This is Qantas' oldest and first 737-800. Originally this aircraft was going to be taken by American Airlines, but due to 9/11 they didn't take it. Qantas took over that order. Hello baby, that's the Qantas 787 Yam Dreaming livery. I flew that aircraft last year from Hong Kong to Brisbane, and I'll have the trip report link in the description if you're interested. It's now 8:13 and the business lounge just opened 2 minutes early. Hooray, 2 minutes. So it looks like it's going to be a full flight. Almost everybody on my flight got lounge access. I waited in the queue for about 2 minutes, which is okay. Despite the queue, it's just one single flight in the lounge, so the lounge is still very spacious and quiet. I particularly like the natural lights here. You have glass panels on one side of the lounge overlooking the tarmac. Buffet food is available. Can I please get Egg Benedict, please? Yeah. But for social distancing and hygiene reasons, you can only point at the food that you want to the staff, and another staff member will bring the food to you. That's the same for all beverages, including water. You have to go to the bar. So here's my breakfast. I got Egg Benedict, blueberry yogurt, sparkling water, and a very white tea. So I asked for the barista to make me English tea with a little bit of milk, and this is what I got. I have no comment. Egg Benedict on the other side is really good. Very runny egg. I love it. Now it's time for everybody in the lounge to head to the gate for the flight to Adelaide.
Once again on the Aerobridge, we do have complimentary flywheel packs available for your use, along with some hand sanitizer here at the boarding gate. We do ask that you scan your boarding pass yourself and have it ready and to go just as you get to the boarding gate.
So later people are going to board row by row, but as per usual, priority boarding gets to board first. So in this red box, you can get free mask and wipes.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. And yourself?
Very good.
Thank you, Mr.
Thanks.
Wong.
Right, here you go. Cheers, how are you? See you again. Yeah, look again, eh? Here we go again.
I got my favourite seat today, 30A, the very last row on the left hand side. Later you'll see why row 30 is gold. So now some basic seat information. Your seat pitch or leg room is about 30 inches and seat width 17.5 inches. Now move on to the seat features. You've got a tablet holder. On the side of each seat you've got a coat hook. Very cute. And then a tray table. You can move it back and forth, but you cannot fold it. Here's a seat pocket. Leg room is about 30 inches, which is okay for a short domestic flight. Here on the side, on the armrest, you've got some classic radio buttons, headphone jack, and your recline button. At the front, you've got USB chargers. Every seat comes with a nice headrest. You can adjust it like this, side by side, up and down.
Bag up into the overhead lockers, any smaller bags underneath the seat in front of you. If you're seated at one of our exit rows, rows 13, 14 or in row 1, all of your carry-on baggage must be placed up into those overhead lockers. We do appreciate your assistance this morning.
The cabin crew have just closed the bins above me, so I think I'm going to have the whole entire row for myself.
Welcome aboard this flight to Adelaide. Also like to welcome our Qantas, our Emirates and our One World frequent flyer passengers. Please place any larger bag in the overhead locker, smaller bags under the seat in front. Handheld devices may be placed into the seat pocket. Passengers who are seated at emergency exit rows 13 and 14 on this aircraft, all bags must be in the overhead lockers only. Please ensure that you're in your allocated seat with your seatbelt firmly fastened, seat back upright, tray table in the locked position. Please remain in your allocated seat for the duration of the flight. If you're feeling unwell now or should become unwell during the flight, please alert a crew member and follow their instructions. Mobile phones and electronic devices must now be switched to flight mode. Any electronic device without flight mode, such as radio transmitters, cannot be used at any time during the flight. Handheld devices may be used for takeoff and for landing, but laptop computers that are larger than the demonstration card must be placed in the overhead locker for both takeoff and for landing into Adelaide. Ladies and gentlemen, we strongly recommend you wear your face mask throughout the flight. Flywheel packs were made available to you as you boarded the aircraft, and additional masks and wipes are available on request. Masks and wipes, whether used or unused, must be taken with you when you disembark the aircraft. Smoking is not permitted on the aircraft. Smoke detectors have been fitted. Please just sit back, relax and enjoy the journey.
So later, two more unaccompanied children boarded the planes. They're sitting at the other side of the aisle, but nonetheless, I still have 3 seats for myself. That's why 30 is so good. Look out in front of me, it's all full.
This here's a number of 504 biplane, made from timber and canvas. You're flying on a Qantas Boeing 737. Sounds a bit flasher than this, old girl.
Into the buckle and tighten by pulling the strap. You can undo your seatbelt by lifting the flap.
A mask will drop from above. Pull down firmly to activate the oxygen. Put it on quickly and tighten the strap.
Welcome to the 1970s, when Qantas first introduced business class. Thank you for showing respect to each other and our crew. Thank you for your loyalty.
Thank you for your support.
And thank you for your attention. Have a great flight.
So there's free Wi-Fi on board today's flight. Now they're showing a video of how to connect it. And before we take off, we have a free disco. So it was a very bumpy takeoff, and now I have to use the lavatory.
Possible for the duration of the flight, and do not change seats. No more than 2 customers should queue in the aisle for the lavatories, and galley areas are to be avoided at all times. Please maintain a distance between yourself and other customers and the crew where possible. Cabin crew will be coming through the cabin with a light refreshment tea coffee service is available throughout the main cabin. There are 2 toilets at the rear for the main cabin, 1 toilet at the front for business class only, and as I mentioned earlier, smoking is not permitted on the aircraft. Smoke detectors have been fitted.
So for the Wi-Fi, just go connect to the Qantas free Wi-Fi, go to wi-fi.qantas.com, click agree in your browser, and then ta-da, tick, you have internet. Currently I'm watching a Singapore Airlines trip report from San Francisco to Hong Kong by Bay Area Traveller, watching it in 1080p resolution. It's not very stable, but it's okay I guess. It's free after all. There's also flight map available once you connect to the Wi-Fi. From observation, there are quite a few children and babies on board today's flight to Adelaide. I think many of them haven't seen their families over in Adelaide in a while, and today they're hopping over to Adelaide to see their families. And many, especially the babies, it will be their first time seeing some of their families. So the service just began in economy class. There are 2 crew members at the front serving both snacks and drinks, and another one serving just the snacks at the back. So today we have a tiny apple pie and a tiny apricot and almond cake. Normally it would be a much bigger meal on this flight, but due to COVID, tiny portion. When the cabin crew who was serving the snacks from the back finished giving out the snacks, she came back to offer us water. That's very efficient service from her today. The apple pie is really good, by the way, even though it's tiny. The same cabin crew has nothing to do, so she came back to the cabin to give us more water. Later, the 2 crew at the front called up to give us hot drinks. Get a mineral water.
Yes, certainly.
And if it's okay, another tea as well.
Yes, certainly.
Thanks. This is the very same lady from the boarding gate. You can see her smile through the mask. She's so friendly and nice throughout the flight.
Here's a couple, because they're good size, you know.
Awesome. Thanks so
There you
much
go.
for doing.
Not only that, she gave me an extra can of mineral water. Now I like this colour much more than the one in the lounge.
It is a light variable breeze and a temperature of 14 degrees. Current time is 25 minutes past 10 and left disembarking 10 minutes early at 10:45. I'm on Sierra Qantas, 6 and flying with us today, and I'm pleasure with you.
I'm back in the lavatory before the landing because I drank so much liquid, and I'm quite disappointed to see that some passengers couldn't dispose their tissue properly. We're soon going to land into Adelaide Airport, so let's quickly conclude this short flight with Qantas right here, right now. So first of all, it was a very unique experience at Sydney Airport. There was only our flight for Adelaide, and the whole terminal was so massive, but very quiet. The lounge only opened at 8:15, an hour before our flight was due to depart, but that's what you get for taking the first flight of the day. Normally the first flight of the day would be about 5 to 6 AM at Sydney Airport. So I really wish Qantas could open the lounge slightly earlier today, but I understand that they don't want the whole lounge to open just for one flight. It's not really cost effective for them. Once on board, the seat was okay. I got the whole row for myself, so obviously I had a really good and comfortable flight. The recline at the back was very limited, but when you get a whole row, who cares about that? For the food and beverages on board, I thought I was going to give a thumbs down because the food you get is so limited, just a tiny little apple pie and a tiny little apricot and almond cake. But then I remembered the flight that I took with Qantas back in July. There was almost nothing, just some biscuits and a bottle of water. No hot drinks, no juice or whatsoever.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has switched on the fasten seatbelt sign for landing. All customers and crew please be seated with seatbelts firmly fastened.
So I think Qantas deserves a thumbs up this time for finally offering us more beverages. Like I got mineral water, 2 cans and a cup of hot tea with milk. And hopefully next time when I fly Qantas, they'll bring back the normal food on board. Another thumbs up for the Wi-Fi, it was free. It's fairly quick for a free onboard Wi-Fi. It lagged a bit when I was watching YouTube, but that was really high resolution. When I was going through Facebook, Snapchat and Instagram, it worked perfectly fine. Can someone please tell me where that little lake or pond is? It looks beautiful. Hopefully it's not some acidic water that's dangerous to swim in because I want to dive in there. Finally, one more thumbs up for the cabin crew on today's flight. They were awesome and amazing. They worked very efficiently during the service. They were also friendly. One of the cabin crew gave me 2 water. Another cabin crew gave me an extra can of mineral water. And also they took excellent care of the 2 children sitting across the aisle. They received multiple packs of snacks and drinks. And I think the cabin crew really genuinely care about the passengers and the children on board today's flight. Now for your information, I paid with points and some tax money for today's flight because the flight wasn't cheap using cash. It was $241 one way, and the flight was 1.5 hours long. And now here we are, YSSY Thank you so much for watching, and please when you fly again, no matter where you go, please use this hashtag on Instagram so that I see where you're going. Also, I upload a new trip report here every Thursday, 12 PM Hong Kong time. That's 2:30 PM in Adelaide under the new daylight saving time, and 3 PM in Sydney. So make sure that you've subscribed and click that bell button next to it so that every time I upload a new video, you get notified and you don't miss out on anything. Please also like and share, and also comment under the video. Each and every of your action will help the growth of my channel on YouTube. You can also add me or follow me on Instagram, Snapchat and Facebook. I'm also available on Patreon, and also I offer YouTube memberships. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I will see you later in the Q&A. Enjoy the landing and approach into Adelaide.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Adelaide, where it's just coming up to 11:15. Passengers leaving us here in Adelaide, bags will be available in the baggage hall on the ground floor. Take care when opening overhead lockers, as bags may move during the flight. Once that seatbelt sign has been turned off, you'll be leaving through the forward left-hand door. Remember to check your seat and seat pocket for any personal items, and please take all used and unused masks and wipes with you and dispose of them within the terminal in the terminal bins. There is a process here in Adelaide, ladies and gentlemen, for disembarking the aircraft. Once the seatbelt sign has been switched off, please remain seated. Do not stand up out of your seat. We have to wait until the ground staff and medical staff give us the clearance to disembark the aircraft. Once that happens, we will disembark the aircraft one row at a time, so please remain seated until the row in front of you has begun to disembark the aircraft. On behalf of Qantas and the team today, we'd like to welcome you to Adelaide. Thank you for choosing to fly with us. We hope you have enjoyed your flight. Have a great weekend. For a minute, we've just got to wait for a clearance for the medical staff before we can start to disembark the aircraft. It's just the way that we maintain our social distancing as best we can while we're waiting for the aircraft door to open. Thank you.
Air bridge can't come to the aircraft until an engineer has turned up, so we'll just call for one and he should be here shortly.
Thank you. G'day, One Lot Fly Squad. Welcome back to another Q&A. So last week I answered all the questions that I've got from 2019, and today I'm going to answer fresh questions from 2020. So let's kick off with Hong Kong foot. London, Hong Kong, or Adelaide? I don't know what you mean by that, but I really want to be in Hong Kong right now because I haven't been there for 7 months now. My previous record was 11 weeks, so it's been a while. Second question from Instagram, Will Matthews 10. When and where are you flying to? My next trip is going to be Sydney, Adelaide to Sydney with Virgin Australia Economy. On the way back, I'm going to fly Jetstar Economy. Third question, not a question. F.E. Brian Chandra. Hi, cheers, bro. Hi, cheers to you too. SS Plane Spotting is asking me my favourite aircraft to fly on. My favourite aircraft to fly on are the A350 and A380. Mike Oz 123, what airline has the best premium economy experience? So I've only tried, in my experience, Cathay, Japan and Qantas, and my favourite, they're all equally the same. Not the same, but similar comfort-wise. But I would say Qantas has the best food. It's so similar to what you get in business class on Qantas. Ryan LYW 26AM603. I think those numbers are bus routes in Hong Kong. Why can you always fly? I don't know. Do you know? So now during the pandemic, it's because Adelaide is quite safe. I can travel domestically without restrictions. Whereas, if you're in Melbourne, you can't do that. You can't even leave within the 5 kilometers radius from your home in Melbourne. What do you study from AKZAVA-LAN? I study aviation management at a university in Adelaide. Then there's a similar question from a person from Snapchat. What year are you and what you're studying? So I'm in year 2. I'm in year 2, semester 2. I just started the new semester today, actually. Very similar question as well. This one. What's your favourite part about studying in Adelaide? A few things. So first of all, public transport is really crap here, but then it's cheap. $1 gets you everywhere. It's a fixed fee. No matter where you go, it's $1 during off-peak hour. Second thing would have to be the cheap rent, but then electricity is mad. Another favourite part, the airport's really nice. I think it's the best airport in Australia. What else? What plane engine do you like the most? I like the GE90, the General Electric 90. Stop drinking my milkshake. Because, you know, the sound is amazing. Next question. Do you plan to fly to Canada anytime soon? So I've actually been there twice, both really short stays. One time was a stopover, one time I was there for just 48 hours. So haven't properly visited the country, so I really look forward to going back soon after the pandemic. What's your go-to pre-flight food? Anything in the lounge or in the cafes or restaurants in the airport. I don't really care, to be honest. What's your dream aviation job? Any job, really, as long as I get the money. When it comes to management, I think I'm most interested in crew resource management, anything to do with money like finance, accounting, economics, revenue management, that kind of stuff. For which airline? Maybe Cathay, Qantas, Virgin, British Airways, something in the Middle East. I think that's it. Hi, I'm Samir. I love your videos. Thank you. I love my fans too. I think she likes you too. Look at this little cat. Ooh. Follow her on Demon Doja Instagram. I think that's all the question. Thank you so much for watching the Qantas report. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Boston. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and your cabin baggage stowed until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.